This is our presentation, Want a Career? Learn Chinese, about how Chinese can be used as an asset in the workplace.
Hello, we are Raphael Kim and Sankhya Suresh. We chose to learn Chinese because the culture and language was interesting to us, and learning the language would be helpful to us in our future careers. We have been learning the language for 2 years. During the Delaware Summer Chinese LINCS program, we were immersed in the language. We saw Chinese being used in business and daily life, and we attended Chinese seminars every day. Overall, the program emphasized the importance of Chinese language and culture.
Now, you may ask, why Chinese? First off, let's compare Chinese to other languages. Chinese has more native speakers than any other language. It has 1.39 billion speakers. And in the United States, the legacy of the culture is still present, such as Chinatowns in San Francisco and Philadelphia. Chinese has also become more popular recently, with the number of colleges that teach Chinese rising by 110% between 1990 and 2013. Why should you learn Chinese? China is a burgeoning global superpower, with their economy growing exponentially over the years. This is because of policies such as the Belt and Road Initiative, which has the potential to create long-term revenue, ties, and dependencies. This means learning Chinese can expand your career opportunities. Employers prefer bilingual speakers, especially Chinese. And a fun fact, Mark Zuckerberg is also learning Chinese. He even made a speech and answered questions in Chinese in 2014. How can you use Chinese around the world? Chinese is an ever-expanding language, and learning Chinese will not only be beneficial in foreign countries, but also the United States. The author of the U.S. Census Report states that as the U.S. becomes more diverse, this pattern of language diversity will also likely continue. And as more Chinese people emigrate to countries such as Indonesia, southern Vietnam, and Malaysia, Mandarin Chinese will have a larger presence.
For our first study visit, we traveled to Wanxiang Precision Industry, where we interviewed one of the representatives showing us around the facility. We asked him whether Wanxiang would be more likely to hire a bilingual employee, and he agreed, stating that, quote, "It would be more convenient if foreign employees could speak Chinese and English. Therefore, foreigners who speak Chinese would be more likely to be hired than foreigners who do not speak Chinese." Later that day, we also visited A123 Systems, where we interviewed Bing Sun, the chief financial officer of the company. He stated that there are 2 benefits of being bilingual. Your mastery of the language, quote, "shows you have the interest to know the country's culture and background," and, quote, "helps the communication be much better with first-line workers who cannot speak English. Although it is possible to work in China without knowing Chinese, you would be able to communicate with more people at the workplace if you could speak Chinese."
Now let's focus on the American perspective. How does America view the usefulness of other languages in the workplace? We asked Jung Il Kim, a product manager at Amatech, whether speaking another language helps you in the job market, and he said, speaking another language places you in a better position in the job market. And since Chinese has such a huge market, many American companies, including the one I work for, have a lot of dealings with Chinese companies. We asked Trevor Rowe, an American university student studying Chinese, whether he thinks that bilingualism and learning Chinese will help him be more successful in the future, and he said, "I do think that bilingualism will make me more successful, if only for the fact that I'm more cultured, experienced, and open-minded."
To summarize, due to China's status as a rising global superpower and its huge market, learning Chinese greatly expands career opportunities. Chinese has billions of native speakers, and it is spoken not only in China but all over the world as well. Both American and Chinese companies would hire bilingual employees to ensure better communication between colleagues and businesses. In conclusion, Chinese is a great language to learn to further your career, and it will help you anywhere you go. Thank you. Are there any questions? You can find out more about our trip at dechineselincs.com.